Death is a family greeting in the Mafia. If someone visits your house and you're not expecting them, you don't ask who's there or why they're there. You immediately assume that it's bad news. This is because in the Mafia, when someone comes to your house and brings you news, good or bad, they always bring you news about a member of your family. Either they've just committed a murder and they want to tell you about it, or they're retelling you that someone has been murdered and now you need to go and take care of things. In both cases, this person has come to deliver you bad news. So if you're not expecting someone and somebody shows up at your house, you always immediately assume that this person has come to deliver bad news. And therefore, the Mafia have this sort of pseudo-saying, pseudo-proverb, which is basically death as the family greeting. Hello everybody, it's me. And we are back with another episode of Italian Proverbs Explained. For those of you guys who are new here, I am an Italian teacher based here in Italy. I teach Italian online. And every single week I make videos about Italian proverbs and expressions, what they mean, where they come from, and especially how you can use them in your daily life. So if you like what you see, please make sure to subscribe down below so you get notified every time I upload a new video. Okay, let's get into today's proverb. This proverb is quite a unique one because unlike the other ones that we've looked at previously, this one is not really a proverb. It's more of a saying, kind of like an idiom, something that is used in everyday conversation. It's not something you say literally, but it's rather something you use to refer to a certain situation. For example, if you were watching The Godfather and you saw a character walk up to another character and say, "Hey, how's it going?" The other character would never respond by saying, "Oh, I'm doing well, thank you. How about yourself?" No, he would not say that because the other character has just brought him news. And considering the fact that people in the Mafia only bring you news about members of your family, either because they have just killed someone or they have just been killed, the only appropriate response in that situation would be, "Who's the family?" Because that's what this saying means. When you say "Chu I famiglia," you are basically asking, who is the family? Who has come to visit? Has someone died? Have we had any deaths in the family? Or rather, has someone come to tell me that someone has died? So this is something that you can use whenever someone visits you unexpectedly. And you know, in Italian culture, if someone comes to visit you and you weren't expecting them, it's usually bad news. I mean, unless you live in a small village in the middle of nowhere and someone shows up at your doorstep saying, "Hey, how's it going? Do you want to go grab some pizza tonight?" Then you should be thankful that this person has brought you good news. But if they came over and said, "Hey, how's it going? Don't get mad at me. I had to tell you this in person, but your son has just been arrested for possession of narcotics," then you should know that this person has brought you bad news. So in this case, you can turn around and say, "Chu I famiglia." This is obviously something that you can only use in certain situations, but it's definitely something that will help you sound a lot more natural when speaking Italian. As I said previously in the Mafia, when someone comes to your house, it's never good news. So this means that in the Mafia, death is part of everyday life. Death is a normal thing. And therefore, you have many different ways to express condolences in Italian. For example, when someone says, "I'm sorry for your loss," in Italian, you don't say "Mi spias per la sua perdita." While this does literally translate to "I'm sorry for your loss," it sounds very cold. It sounds very distant. And when expressing condolences, you have to be very close. You have to be very affectionate. You have to show a lot of emotion. Otherwise, it just doesn't make sense. So instead of saying "Mi spias per la sua perdita," you say "condoglians." This simply means condolences. You also have other ways of expressing condolences. For example, you have "I feel your pain." This is literally translated into "I feel your grief," but it means something way deeper than that. You also have deepest condolences, which is "call query and pezzi." And lastly, my heartfelt condolences, which is "I cordoglio," or "lec mich imarsh." Now wait. Before you start Googling images of me licking various orifices of dogs, let me tell you that this last one is actually a curse. It is not a way of expressing condolences. Never say "lec mich imarsh." To someone who has just lost someone, this is a vulgar expression, a curse, something you would say to your enemies. Basically, it means "lick me in the ass," but it's really used as a curse. For example, if someone steals your wallet, you tell them "lick mich imarsh," so never ever say this to someone who is grieving. Another way that Italians express their condolences is by bringing food to the family who is grieving. It is a very common thing, especially here in the South. where I will often get phone calls from my grandmother asking me if I have any leftovers. If I can send her some pasta because she is taking it to my aunt's house because she is visiting my aunt, who has recently lost my uncle. So yeah, if you ever want to sound really, really Italian when someone dies in the family, you go over to their house and you bring them pasta. Now that we've talked about what you say when someone dies in the family, let's talk about what you say when someone visits you with bad news. Like I said before in the Mafia, death is a family greeting. Someone comes over and greets you with news about your family. So what do you respond? Obviously, you can't respond by asking them who it was that greeted you, right? Because that would be pretty rude. So instead you say, ha, ragione, which literally translates to, he is right. But when you say this, you already know who it was that came to greet you. You just want to emphasize the fact that yes, you understand that the news this person has brought you is bad news. You accept it. And by accepting it, you basically tell this person that he can now leave. He has done his job. He has delivered the message, and now you will take care of everything. So this is something that you can add to the end of a sentence. Let's take that example I gave you before. Your son has just been arrested for possession of narcotics, and you can say hi ragione, which again means you're right. But what this really means is, yes, I know what he has done. Yes, I know what has happened. And now I will deal with it myself. Now, obviously this expression is not something you can use in everyday life. You can only use it when someone brings you really, really bad news. But since most of you guys who watch my channel are learning Italian to impress your Italian partners, this might not be a bad thing to know. That's it for today's lesson. As always, I'd like to thank all my supporters for helping me make high-quality content like this. And if you want to support me too, please check out the links down below. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.